Hello, good day and welcome. My name is Mr. JB and today we are going through another PhotoPea tutorial. Today we are going through creating a splash portrait. Now in order to do this, we are going to download some of our splash brushes. I've got this brush easy. I will put the links of this down in the description below. You're just going to select your download. You'll get a pop-up window, whatever. Wait for it to do its thing and then just it'll pop up to the right. It's already started downloading. I'm going to do that for both of these brushes. Now, depending on which ones you want, it's totally up to you. I'm just going to wait for these to download as we're kind of talking about some other things. It's usually pretty straightforward and pretty quick. Once I've got my image in, whatever my image is, as always, create a duplicate and just shut off the eye on it so that way it's not interrupting us in any way, shape, or form. To begin, we are going to create a raster mask. So that's using the camera looking button down in the bottom right. And then, oh, my stuff is finished downloading, so I'm just going to take that folder. You can kind of see, I'm just kind of dragging it in, and it says brush added, and then it'll tell me brush added again. Sometimes it ends up doing some funky things and open up some extra windows. We're just going to close all of them down. We don't need to look at that stuff. On my top layer one, I'm going to add a raster mask, and I need to invert that layer. So I'm going to press Control I, and it should make my image go away. That's totally okay. That's what we want in this moment. And since we're here, we are going to end up adding just a regular colored background. So in order to do that, we are going to do a new adjustment layer and we're going to select color fill. For the time being, we're just going to select white. It's going to make things easy, and we're going to drop it below our layer one. With our layer one selected, we're going to make sure that we select the black box over to the right, and then we're going to select our paintbrush tool. With that selected, up in the top left, you'll see the little dot. Click on the drop down, and now you're going to see a whole bunch of the brushes that you have now downloaded. When you paint these, we need to make sure that we're painting in white. So that bottom left box here where my cursor is needs to be white. You can adjust the sizes, kind of tinker with what you want to. And every time you click, it's going to be painting and adding those colors. So whatever was there, it's like we're revealing it. If you want to kind of mix up your brush just so that way it's not the same pattern over and over again, that's awesome. That looks a lot better when you do it that way. That way everything's not super uniform. Eventually that does look kind of boring. So just kind of splash some stuff on as you're going through your portrait, and eventually you'll kind of get to something you're happy with. Again, try a handful of these, try a handful of different ones, throw some different brushes, some different splatters on there, just to kind of get something looking a little bit different. Now, depending on what you're going for, you might have a ton of this, you might only have a little bit, but it's a good idea that if you've got faces, to try and make sure that you have got a decent chunk of whatever those faces are at least showing up. So I want to make sure that I've got at least most of Deadpool's face. So I'm going to make sure that I grab some brushes, whatever they are, and get that up there on my screen. Again, I'm just choosing some random things. I didn't really have anything set out for what I wanted to do, but kind of throw some stuff on. Make sure that you got some random things in places. Again, if it looks too uniform, like these two look very similar, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to kind of change the shape, flip it over. Maybe if I do it inverted or if I do it upside down, it'll look a little bit different. It'll look a little bit better. Okay, and bam. Now, you can do this forever. You can choose what you want. You can do some overlay layers and kind of change slightly how some of the colors look. But that's really all that this is just kind of splashing your image back onto the portrait. So if you want to end up changing the color of your background, you're going to double click on the left box and it will open up a color menu. You can then go through and adjust, make it black, gray, whatever color it is that you want for your splash portrait. Now, I don't really have any color in mind. I guess I'm just going to choose the black one for now because it makes a lot of those colors pop. And with that, that's all that this is. Now, again, there's a lot of personal preference, whatever it is that you want to do. So keep that in mind as you're kind of splashing through. Just the biggest thing is to try and not have it look super uniform. If you have any requests for tutorials, things like that, please drop them down in the comments below. The last handful I've done have been requests from folks, which is super awesome. I love doing that. I love trying to figure out these new things. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something. Have a wonderful day. Take care and be safe.